With these can-do videos, you'll see real-life situations where you have to introduce yourself, talk about your family, or give your contact information. So, by the end, you can do them yourself in Japanese. This video is a small portion of our can-do course. To get the full course, including translations, grammar tools, and assessment tests, click the link in the description. Welcome to Can Do Japanese by JapanesePod101.com.
皆さんこんにちは、Kano Kana です。Hi everyone, I'm Kana Kano. In this lesson, you learn how to talk about the weather in Japanese.
This is Karen Lee, and she's in rainy Tokyo. She's on a long-distance call with Miki Mori, her former homestay mother. Miki asks, "How's the weather?"
天気はどうですか?
Listen to the conversation and focus on the response. Ready?
天気はどうですか?
雨です。
Once more with the English translation.
天気はどうですか?
How's the weather?
雨です。
It's rainy. Wondering how you can master these conversations even faster? Here's how. 1. Read along. You get the lesson conversation and translations inside our dialogue tool so that you see each word as you hear it and understand it all. 2. Practice speaking. By shadowing what you hear, you can also record and compare yourself with native speakers with our voice recording tools. And 3. Take our assessment tests and see how much you remember. These tools are part of our Can-Do course. Just click the link in the description to get them.
Let's take a closer look at the conversation.
Do you remember how Mickey asks, "How's the weather?"
天気はどうですか?
First is
天気、
weather.
天気、天気
Next is the particle,
は、
the topic marking particle.
は
It marks weather as the topic of the sentence. Think of it like as for, in the expression as for the weather. After this is the word
どう、
meaning how in this context.
どう、どう
After this is,
です。
in this case, it's like the is in how is.
です。です。
And last is
か、
the question marking particle, which turns the sentence into a question.
か
Altogether,
天気はどうですか?
literally means as for the weather, how is, but translates as how's the weather.
天気はどうですか?
Let's take a closer look at the response.
Do you remember how Karen says, "It's rainy"?
雨です。
First is
雨、
rain.
雨、雨
Next is,
です。
in this case, it's like the is in it is.
です。
Altogether,
雨です。
literally means rain it is, but it translates as it's rainy.
雨です。
This is the shortened version of
天気は雨です。
literally, as for the weather, it's rainy.
天気は雨です。
The phrase,
天気は
as for the weather, is understood from the context of the conversation, so it is omitted. Altogether, it's
雨です。
it's rainy.
雨です。
The pattern is
weather です。
it's weather.
weather です。
To use this pattern, Simply replace weather with the local weather condition. Imagine you're in Sapporo, and outside there is snow.
雪、雪、雪、
Say, it's snowy. Ready?
雪です。
It's snowy.
雪です。
Let's look at some more examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
雨です。雨です。
雪です。雪です。
晴れです。晴れです。
曇りです。曇りです。
東京は雨です。東京は雨です。Did you notice how I added the phrase 東京は?
Wondering how you can master these conversations even faster? Here's how. 1. Read along. You get the lesson conversation and translations inside our dialogue tool so that you see each word as you hear it and understand it all. 2. Practice speaking. By shadowing what you hear, you can also record and compare yourself with native speakers with our voice recording tools. And 3. Take our assessment tests and see how much you remember. These tools are part of our Can-Do course. Just click the link in the description to get them.
Tokyo は雨です。
Tokyo is rainy.
東京は雨です。
Literally means, as for Tokyo, rain it is. But it translates as, Tokyo is rainy.
東京は雨です。
The phrase,
東京は
as for Tokyo, establishes Tokyo as the topic of the weather commentary that follows it. You should be aware of the longer pattern, but for this lesson, we'll use the shortened pattern. Let's review the key words.
晴れ、
Sunny,
晴れ、晴れ。曇り、
cloudy,
曇り、曇り。
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then, repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say rain? Ame. Ame. Do you remember how Karen Lee says, it's rainy?
雨です。
雨です。 Do you remember how to say weather? 天気。天気。And a topic marking particle? は。は。Do you remember how to say how? どう。どう。And a question marking particle? か。か。Do you remember how Mickey Mori asks, how's the weather?
天気はどうですか？
天気はどうですか？ Do you remember how to say sunny? 晴れ晴れ And how to say cloudy? 曇り曇り Do you remember how to say snow? 雪雪
Let's practice. Imagine you're Karen Lee. In cloudy Tokyo. Respond to the question. Ready?
天気はどうですか？
曇りです。
Listen again and repeat.
曇りです。 曇りです。
Let's try another. Imagine you're Miki Mori. In sunny Fukuoka. Ready?
天気はどうですか？
晴れです。
Listen again and repeat.
晴れです。 晴れです。
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Ken Kobayashi. In snowy Sapporo. Ready?
天気はどうですか？雪です。
Listen again and repeat.
雪です。雪です。
This is the end of this lesson.
Now, here's what you can do to cement this conversation in your head. Review the conversation with our dialogue tool and lesson transcripts. Study the key words and phrases with our spaced repetition flashcards. Review the key grammar and cultural tips inside the lesson notes. And test yourself with our assessment tests. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to access our Can-Do course.
Now you know how to talk about the weather in Japanese. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.